Hey friends, is anybody out there? Everybody must be busy. Hey, we got a couple people. Hey, Mark. Chilled out. Hey, Mac, Herb, Streetwise, Zach. Good to see y'all guys. Hey, just figured I'd do a quick live video. I've been kind of busy here. However, this is kind of really neat. I have to work so hard to put my videos out that it's really neat to be able to just sit down here with y'all guys. Hey, there's Bretta. Hey, Bretta. Linda, John, Melina, Kat, Rachel. Hey guys, hope y'all guys are doing well out there. I figured I'd just do a quick live video, kind of catch y'all guys up on what's been going on here. It's still late fall, hasn't snowed yet. It's actually a really nice day out right now. Very bright, very warm. Still has that kind of fall nip in the air, so it's really nice. I've been working a lot on the shelter up there. I went up and started closing the structure in a little bit. It's so cool to see all y'all guys. Hey, Brenda. Yeah, so what I'm doing, I've got the vertical supports put on now. I've got a lot of tarp thrown over the top. I still need to close it in. But what I'm doing is the vertical supports, how they come down like this, I've started taking poles and going horizontally across them. Try to kind of close it in a little bit. Basically, a lot like the corrals that I use while I'm up on Chewbacca Mountain. So once I get the actual structure sealed in where it feels nice and safe, I'm gonna go ahead and camp up there over a couple nights, just kind of like see how it feels and everything. What I'm doing also is I'm digging the floor out a little bit. So the way that I have this triangle that I'm living on, right, or that I'm going to live under, I need more room. So where it comes down on the sides, there isn't any room over there. So what I'm gonna do is dig the floor out a little bit and that'll also help kind of like insulate it and then keep the water from running into the structure as well. It's so cool to see all of y'all guys. Hi Laura, hi mod wife, let's see, Brenda, Britta, hey Britta. We have today the first snow here. Nice, very nice. I am actually really excited for when it starts to snow here. Uh, I didn't realize I was going to be because, like I've told you before, winters here are kind of slow. So I'm trying to kind of be a little bit more excited about the things I will be able to do in the winter. Even if hiking and stuff is just a little bit slower, it sure is pretty still. And you know what I really like about the snow is that I can track. So, like, I know what predators are in the area and stuff, basically. Snow here today, also in Colorado, Patricia says. Uh, hey, Sharon. Totally cool, guys. Hey, Jamie. I'm glad your weather is good. We have 30-mile-an-hour winds. Not fun. Oh, no kidding. The one thing, the element that I don't like the most actually is probably the wind, especially here in the Loomis area. There's something about the valley out here. The way that it's shaped, the wind can, whether it's coming in from the north or from the south, it seems to blow in both directions. I actually figured that out when I first moved here because I'd bicycle from my house here down to the Loomis Quick Stop and then back. So I'd be bicycling in all the way against the wind. I'd be thinking to myself, okay, at least on the way back, I'll have it on my back. It'll be easier, right? And it never was. I'd get out of the quick stop, start heading back home, and pedal against the wind the entire way. It's something about the way that the valleys are shaped, honestly. It's just like, it's really weird. I like it. But the wind can be unrelenting, is why I really don't like about it. It just, oh man. So, let's see, what else have I been up to? I've been doing a lot of studying. I'm writing this book now, and one of these days I'm going to do my memoirs. I'm just not really into it right now. This book I'm writing will have segments of my life kind of as a demonstration to what I'm referring to, basically. What I want it to be is kind of a recovery guide, listing all of the different tools, tactics, and strategies that I've adopted in my life to have a happier life and better interactions with people in my world. So I've kind of mixed a couple cool ideas from other recovery manuals that I've read in the past, and then uh, other forms of like military manuals. So I've got one section that I'm actually really excited about. It talks about body language and stuff. So I'm really into communication. I think that communication is the most important thing that us humans have, right? It's really the massive amount of communicating that we can do to convey our exact meaning is way more superior than most of the animals have, in my opinion. And so I find that when we communicate properly with each other, we have positive outcomes. However, it seems like, and through my life, it's really appeared that we don't communicate in a right way. So like a lot of us communicate just directly and it's very beneficial. However, there are a lot of people in the world that they take advantage or they lie or they just, they don't communicate well due to some deficiency in their processing. And so what I do is I apply a lot of body language, facial expressions, and stuff like that to the actual words that are being said by somebody that I'm communicating with. And what I find really helps is that it helps further my understanding of what the other person means by being able to read subtle cues and body language, as well as it also helps me convey my meaning to the person I'm talking to. Because I can not only say the words of what I mean, I can also concentrate on how to emphasize those words in ways that are easier to understand, which really help with communication. So they've gone really a long way around to land on it, though. This book, I'm going to utilize some of the military manuals that I've read. They'll draw like pictures and stuff and give very basic explanations of what they're talking about. And I find it very helpful. So in my book, I'm going to have some illustrated places that will actually refer to what I'm talking about. So it like visualizes what I'm talking about. I think that's cool because I'm able to mix a lot of my gifts and a lot of the things that I've worked and practiced on to be better at like drawing to kind of compile them all together into this manual. Also, I've been reading a lot. Now, me when I read, it is so cool to see everybody there. Hey guys, how cool. When I read, so okay, I have a very healthy imagination. I always have, and it's something that I haven't lost. I like to think that it's actually part of my success. Because if I'm struggling in something or if the world seems blah, I step into my imagination and I kind of change it, right? I change my perception, which changes my attitude, my emotions, and the way that I'll interact with people. So, what I do when I read audiobooks. So I can take an 8 hour book, 8, 11, 12 hour book, and I can just put it on reading. And then I can go and I draw or sweep the floor, clean the house, whatever I'm into. At the same time, I'm having that book read to me. So I utilize my imagination a lot like a king or something, right? Might not have the time to read this giant war manual or something. So he'd have somebody read it to him. And so that's a large part of what I do when I study. I'm having to go back now and basically restudy all the stuff that I've learned so that in my book I can tell it to y'all guys in a more refreshed format, basically, instead of having to like explain with a soliloquy or something, or not give perfectly accurate information. Another thing is in my book, I'm not going to have a whole lot of hey Brenda, a whole lot of science and all right, so the whole thing will be science and psychology basically. However, at the same time, I'm not going to go through explaining what doctor did what study and what they found in I don't know, 1980 versus what they found in 2023 and all this stuff. What I'm going to do is give an accurate breakdown of everything that I'm talking about. And then in the back of the book, leave references so that people can go and study for themselves uh, the actual fundamentals of what I'm talking about, which I think is really cool. I recommend to everybody to study a subject repeatedly until we've actually mastered the entire thing, because humans, we only learn, like, depending on the person, 10 to 15% of a subject in one go. So if I sit down and listen to a lecture, I'm only going to pick up 10, maybe 15% of it, and then I'm going to need to go back and re-listen to it over and over again until I finally get everything out of it. So that's going to be another large part of the focus of my book. Isn't just talking about the tools, techniques, and strategies. It'll be giving references for further studies in the subject that I'm talking about, I guess. Let's see what y'all guys. It's so neat. There are so many of y'all guys. Let's see. Hi, Matt. So glad I found you on here. You were always my favorite. Thanks. You're my favorite too. Haha. uh, I think it's great that you're writing a book. Thank you, Bretta. Are you going to do a live chat every day? Please do. We will love to see you every day. Well, I was kind of thinking about that. I don't want it to get boring or anything. So what I'm thinking about doing is I could do a live chat every now and then, like maybe every other day, just kind of catch y'all guys up on what's going on and say hey. And what I really think that I want to do is come up with kind of a show format. So like maybe something funny or something. I had a couple of cool ideas because I make observations throughout my days, basically. Like I got, where is it? It's okay, and this was going to be for my comedy skit, so I'll tell you now. I've got this Bluetooth speaker, right? It's a good one. It's on. No, this is not a commercial, though. If On wants to sponsor me, I'm right here. Hi. Now I'm playing. Uh, so this is a waterproof speaker, and it was advertised to say that it's able to be used even in the shower. So this comedy skit that I was coming up with was going to talk about how they didn't say not to recharge it while in the shower. So I'm thinking about doing like observational jokes and stuff. Uh, Another thing that I could do is a format, and maybe y'all could help me out with this. Things that used to be and aren't anymore. Because I notice stuff, right? So I take my Dr. Pepper, right? I got a Dr. Pepper. Growing up, you could unscrew the cap, and on the inside here, there was a little piece of plastic. It was a completely separate piece, about yay thick, and took up the entire inside. It was a seal that they had in there so that your pop wouldn't leak or anything, right? That's the reason that nowadays, if you squeeze on it, you can actually get air to squeeze out because that gasket isn't in there anymore. And so it's little observations like that. And I thought maybe I could do like a once a week show or something, kind of. I do like being able to get on here with y'all guys at any time. Like I said earlier, it's so much work to put a video out that this is just kind of cool. I love the idea. Thank you. Do I have friends in Denmark? I do have friends in Denmark, actually. That's one of the neatest things about my YouTube and my Instagram is that I have friends from all over the world, and I think that that is just really cool. As I've grown and started gathering more friends from different places all over the world, it's really helped me realize how, yes, in a lot of ways we're all very much alike, uh and yet I've noticed a lot of very subtle differences in like our cultures and stuff, things that I wouldn't have ever been able to experience without actually traveling to these different places. And so I think that it's really cool to have such an inside perspective into so many different cultures. It's another way that you guys really help make my life more full. I also think it's remarkable too that no matter what culture I I'm the people that are my friends are from, when they really start opening up to me about problems with the society at that time, a lot of us all over the world are facing a lot of the very same difficulties. And I think that one way to kind of like help with that is through sharing with each other, because it really helps us all relate that we aren't going through these things alone. You know, the problems that we're experiencing here in the US are the same problems that others are experiencing in all these different countries. And I think that the camaraderie, even though it might not fix the issue, it does really help fix that agitated feeling inside when we don't think that others can relate or understand the things that we're going through. It's another thing that I want to put in my book, actually, because I'm making a lot of little observations, and it won't. I'm not going to talk about things as if they're finite. Actually, Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite quotes. He says, "The fewer definitive statements a person makes in their life, the less likely they are to look foolish in retrospect." So my book isn't going to cover topics that I just nail down like this is a fact, that's a fact. It's going to more open up the idea to expand on subjects and stuff, if that makes sense. Kind of like just piquing the curiosity towards a certain thing to let the reader expand their own knowledge and opinions on that. I've thought too about maybe starting either a new YouTube or Instagram, or maybe see if I could do what do you call it? Like a online poll or something where people could talk about certain subjects in the book and how they relate to their life, basically giving that feedback. Because this first one I'm going to write, I'm going to title it Volume One, and they're going to be short reads. And then in like volume two, in the back, I could have feedback from other readers who have talked about the way that these things affect their lives, basically. Those are good ideas. Hey, thank you, Haven. Uh, Kevin Frank chat is moving to first, and I don't want to be annoying. LOL. I did post in all caps. That's all right. You don't annoy me. I am really hard to annoy. Actually, that's one of the tools that I've worked on the most nowadays. So it doesn't, I don't think it works in a life that, or in a situation that is really hectic and struggling all of the time. I know that when mine was like that, any little annoyance or sign would kind of start tipping me over the edge. Since I've been able to remake my life and my existence, though, I actually seek out a little bit of annoyance every now and then, or when something does kind of annoy me, I like that because I don't get that feeling very often. So I'm able to kind of like experience getting a little rattled again. And that helps ground me in one, identifying that I'm feeling that feeling, and then two, behaving like I'm not feeling that feeling, if that makes any sense. Okay, God bless you too, friend. It's going good. How about a Bible study invest live stream, Bible study live stream? That's actually a really cool idea. What I've been doing, so I find that a lot of times, and please don't anybody get mad at me out there. A lot of times, religion doesn't seem to mix very well with the AA, and the AA doesn't really seem to mix well with religion. I'm still trying to figure out why that really is. And I think that that's more of a study. It's it's almost more of a study of philosophy than science. But then I think in some ways the psychology of it can be more of a study of science than religion. So what I'm doing now, actually, which is going to be a segment in my book, maybe one or two pages, is figuring out the ways that like recovery in its entirety. Hey, Jimmy. Oh, is Yvonne on here? Hi, Yvonne. Hey. Where was I? Right. Okay. So I read the Bible. I read a lot of religious texts and stuff, and then I try and find what's inside of that that is relevant to recovery terms and stuff. And it is all relevant. What I'm trying to find though are the little bitty pieces in there that kind of exactly match over on this other side so that I can try to, for my own understanding, separate the differences and find the things that match each other because I find that differences are important because that's what makes us all unique. However, it's when we can relate to each other that we can begin to understand each other and grow, basically. That's just my own opinion. I don't know how well I've explained it. It'll be better in the book, I think. However, like an online maybe we could do that, like an online kind of study of like theology and recovery and philosophy, and I think that might be really neat. Boy, it's a lot of thumbs ups. Hi, Josh and dog. Hi, Cole. Hi, Matt. Have a good week. Thank you. You too. Uh, you can pull this out if Alpha Book Matt. Oh, the Alpha book. Yes, I'm right. All right. So a friend of mine sent me a recovery book. It is very much based on exactly what I'm talking about, which is what I really, really liked about it. It finds a real way of matching religion with recovery tools and everything. And I'm only about that far through it. It's an excellent read, though, and I really appreciate you having sent it to me. Like I said, I need to go over it a lot more. I'm not going to steal any of your ideas or anything, though. I am trying to find places in there that kind of relate to my own philosophy. Like I was just saying, I think that the ways that we relate to each other always helps us communicate better with each other. And when people communicate well, we can grow well together, which, in my opinion, this world really needs right now. Just a little more solidarity with each other, which is another thing that I love about my channel out here. That's what makes y'all guys so cool. Is that there isn't any of this ratcheted BS. We're all here to kind of like help support and encourage each other. Cool, John. Hoorah. Let's see. Your growth and sharing helps. I'm so glad. Uh, hey, friend. Let's see. It's so cool. See so many of the IG community on here. Hey, Nova. How are you? Good afternoon. People are nasty. Don't give them attention. You were right. And Matt acknowledged it. Yeah, I completely agree with that statement. I find so often that people, when they're being nasty or mean or they're just out trolling, that's what they're after is to cause a ratcheted feeling inside of us or make us question ourselves and stuff. I've actually been doing some studying into what makes people want to be a troll on the internet. And so that started what my real interest in it is people who name their accounts something derogatory that actually shows that they're out here to troll. I want to kind of get into some of the psychology of what makes people want to do that. And so far, what I've been able to find is that people really troll and stuff when things aren't going so well in their life. In recovery, we say hurt people hurt people. So when I see somebody out there trying to hurt my feelings or something, I realize that there's something in their life that has hurt them and that it seems like they must be powerless against that and that they might be seeking some form of power, some way that they can feel heard or have some kind of get some kind of reaction out of the world. So if we hurt people can't get a positive reaction and the only reaction we can get is a negative one, it still gives us those endorphins. It still makes us feel important. uh so for me, that's why I really try and just whenever somebody says something hurtful or they're mean, I try and have real empathy for them and understand that this isn't that for me, it's just some words on a screen. For them, it's an emotion of the terror that they're feeling inside and then trying to dump on us. It's another form of communication. Like guys who are pushed against the edge, right? And just so rattled and their emotions are all through the roof, right? The instinct is to throw or scream, right? We throw things or we yell at people. And no, that is never, ever acceptable. However, at the same time, it's caused by massive floods of emotion, and it's a way that that person is trying to communicate how frustrated they feel. So, again, I always just remember hurt people hurt people. Hey, Starlight, have you ever seen the Northern Lights? Yes. Back home in Alaska, saw the Northern Lights a lot, especially during the winter. Best I've ever seen them was probably up in Wasilla, which is like, if how do I do that? If the no, that's not work. Oh wait, my screen's on reverse for me. Okay, so this should work. If the, if this is Alaska, right? Wasilla is right about up here. I grew up in this area here, and you can see some southeast Alaska. You can see some really beautiful northern lights up there. Most of the time, they're these greens and they have like this swooping kind of effect. Now, if you get up a little north, like Wasilla, Anchorage, Fairbanks area, you'll get into some of those like real reds and greens. I even saw some blues once, which I didn't even know existed. They were beautiful. Last year, why was it last year or the year before? Might have been the year before. I hiked up onto Chapaka in the middle of the winter, and oh, it was gorgeous. I saw just the lightest, faintest green northern lights, and then they had like these wisps of red through them. It's beautiful. I love your tips trips to Chapaka. Thank you. Uh it's so neat to see everybody saying hi to each other and everything. Ha ha. Hey Brenda, be sure to tell Alex I said hey, would you? Hey, it was Raquel. Cool. Let's see. What's up from Michigan? Not much, Michigan. Waiting on winter, honestly. Just kind of, doing the thing. Hey, everyone. Stupid question, but when you were living in Alaska, have you seen or heard of Bigfoot? So, first off, I don't believe that there are any stupid questions. I believe that there are only stupid answers. Yeah, I've never seen him. Honestly, I do believe in him. I covered this in one of my live videos. There are so many creatures back just 50,000, 100,000 years ago that resembled Bigfoot. And there's still so much wilderness out there that I believe that a Bigfoot type creature exists. I don't see why not. If they had the body and the abilities of a bear, and yet the intelligence of a human, it wouldn't be that hard to hide out in the forest, live a great life, and avoid us entirely. Especially when we watch how people move through the forest. We are very noisy critters, and we don't make any attempts really, even those of us who are really skilled in stalking, in comparison to an animal, we don't have the ability really to go invisible. So I think we'd be really easy to avoid. Now, as far as seeing or hearing anything in Alaska, I have heard things in Alaska that I don't know what they were. Most of them had to do with the water, though. So don't know if it was a whale or if it was a sea monster or what. Now, I've known people who I believe have seen something like Bigfoot. They wouldn't have any reason to lie. And you know how a person gets freaked out. They've got like something traumatic happens or something, and you can just see it in their eyes. You just know for sure something happened to this person, and they're still freaked out about it. I've got a couple friends in Alaska who have told me stories, and when they tell those stories, they've got that look in their eyes. One of my buddies actually, he would walk around with a flashlight at dusky dark, right, just as it's starting to get dark. He'd never go out after dark. He seemed really freaked out, and I don't think he was faking it. Matt, do you like football slash soccer? Can we make you a holiday Liverpool Football Club fan? I I that wouldn't be that hard to do, actually. Honestly, football is one of my favorite sports, really. Now, I do like American football, but I like world football a lot. Something about it just kind of like speaks to me. And I'm not really a sports guy. Honestly, I won't like if there's a good game on, I'll sit down and enjoy it. You know, you might even hear me rooting every now and then, or I'll be jabbing the guy next to me like, "Did you see that?" Right? So no, it wouldn't be too far-fetched, that's for sure. Hoorah. Do you believe in ghosts? Eh, not really. Honestly, one, I don't care. That's because for me, a ghost is really just another obstacle. And in life, there are so many of them that I don't need to be bringing stuff into my life. I'm open and receptive to a lot of ideas and everything. However, it's not something that really interests me much. I care about things that I can touch. Kind of, I find a lot of times believing, now, like, I'm not knocking anybody either. I am open minded. If my mind can be easily changed. It's just I don't need thoughts of ghosts and ghouls coming into my mind when I'm in the dark and I'm worried about something that's tangible at the same time. I find that it boosts a fear hormone in my mind that I can do without. Uh, and also, I think that lots of times concentrating on anything that's spooky does that same thing. It puts our bodies into this autonomic response where we're waiting for something to happen that most likely isn't going to happen. So I'm open to the idea of ghosts and stuff. Not really feeling it though at the same time, which is yeah, we'll just leave it there for now. Do you see your family? I I believe in God. Hoorah! So do I, my friend. I think your strength is the way you can find a comparison in an everyday thing and put a positive spin on everyday negative thoughts. Thank you. Uh, honestly, that's one of the things that I practice the most. Is changing the way I feel about something. I've been highly reactive through most of my life. I grew up around people like that. It kind of permeated my early years. And then, so as a man, once I would start getting into a ratcheted or agitated feeling or a situation that was unfair or that I couldn't control, I'd lose my temper or I'd break down and go into a depression. And it's always over something that seems like it's only in a day. So something happens. I have a feeling. Let's say something happens and I become mad. If I'm mad and I feel mad, then I'm only going to be able to respond in a way that's relative to madness, basically. So I'm not going to be empathetic. I'm not going to be understanding. I'm going to be quick with people and snappy. And then later, the next day, when I go back and rethink about my behavior, I will regret that and wish that I had done it differently. I'll think back and I won't really even be able to understand why I said that. It's like, why was I so mean to that person? And it's always because I'm feeling angry or upset. Uh, and then if I'm sad, you can put me in the same exact situation. And if I'm sad, I'm going to respond in a completely different way than I would have if I was mad. So, what I had to do is realize that emotion is like alcohol or it's like a drug. When we're feeling a strong emotion, our responses are limited to only what that emotion will give us, right? So act out or get depressed, feel anxious, isolate. These are all responses to how I'm feeling. And later, when I think back on it, after that feeling's gone, I'll regret it and wish I had done something different. So when I'm feeling emotion, I think of it as if I had just drank alcohol, because alcohol changes the way I respond to something. So it's the same thing, except, okay. So this is a terrible uh, way to break this down. For me, it's like driving drunk, right? If I'm drink and I drive, I'm trying to drive like I'm not drunk. I know that I need to drive like I'm not drunk because I know that I am drunk, because I remember drinking and now I'm driving and now I need to drive like I'm not drunk. So, emotion for me, I relate it the same exact way. If I'm feeling a strong emotion, I need to react to things as if I'm not feeling that emotion so that I can drive inside the lines and get where I'm going. The problem, though, is that if we drink and drive, we know that we were drinking. So we know to drive like we weren't. When we're feeling a strong emotion, it's very rare that we realize that we are now under the influence of an emotion and that we need to drive as if we weren't. So for me, I really put everything in the front of my brain. When I'm feeling something really strong, I tell myself, oh, I'm feeling a really strong emotion. I really want to do this. However, tomorrow I'm probably going to wish that I had done that instead. That in it alone helps me change my feelings, basically. On top of that, there are little exercises and tricks that help a lot with it. Like changing the way I think about something will change the way I feel about something. So, say I had a high paying corporate job or something, except it was completely soul sucking, right? The idea of quitting that job could be terrible. Let's say it comes with a lot of money, a lot of prestige, right? But the soul sucking side of it is really terrible. Then I go in and I wind up getting fired, right? Uh, and now we've got that feeling that, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. There's all this kinds of shame and stuff. And how am I going to tell the next job that I wound up getting fired? So what I do is I rational emotive therapy it, RET, and that means I change the way I think about it. If at the same moment I think to myself, well, you know what? That job was soul sucking. I worked there for so many years and never got a promotion. And I have so many applicable skills because of that that I can put on my resume, that if I just tell the next job the truth and tell them it was a terrible job, but look at my skill set, then I start becoming more confident in finding a job that fits better. And I realized that getting fired is better because it did for me the thing that I wasn't willing or able to do for myself. Instantly, my feelings change and I become happy about it. I do that with a lot of stuff. Even if I twist my ankle, I will find a way to make that positive. I will tell myself, well, this means if this hadn't happened, I wouldn't know that I need to strengthen the muscles on my ankle more. I could have been up in the forest when this happened, and not realize it. It could be a lot worse. And it just changes. We can change the way we feel by changing the way we think. Some people have asked me, aren't you deluding yourself? No, I don't do it where I'm deluding myself. However, if it was really important to be able to do it, I have another question. Do I care if I'm deluding myself? If it works and I now have positive interactions and positive life feelings, do I care as long as it worked? And like I said, I don't go to the self deluding. However, if that was all I had, it would sure be better than feeling like my life sucked and that everything was a nightmare. Just that positive feeling will help cause actual positive change, because the world changes with us. If we're positive, the world will be positive. If we're negative and we fight, the world will be negative and it will fight. At least that's my experience. Matt, you need mods to protect your channel. I don't know what that means, friend. Uh, this is your skill, it might be long-winded. Yeah, yeah. You're not the first person to say that. I'm a little long-winded. I actually that's one thing I'm trying to work on. It's been one of my biggest struggles though. I try and cover so much and I go round and round that it is hard to just kind of like nail it down. I'm working on that. What do you do for fun? Every day. No matter what it is I'm doing, I always try and have fun doing it. That's not always possible. Serious answer, I do a lot of stuff for fun. Hiking, fishing, building stuff. I like to draw. I'm into music. Mostly YouTube. I really enjoy being able to make YouTube videos. I was in that show, many years ago now, and I was so close to it that I was actually able to learn a lot of different facets, and it's like being able to draw kind of. Once we learn how to draw, we enjoy drawing. And so doing my show here on YouTube is a lot of fun. Also being able to talk to people, have positive interactions. I do a lot of studying. I like to work on my pickup truck, but mainly anything I'm doing, I try and enjoy it for what it is. Hey, Ton from Norway, good to see ya. How what is that? How is your neck pain? Maybe try needles. Uh, well, I'm not too into like acupuncture and stuff. Honestly, my neck is feeling better though. I haven't stopped really. I've just slowed down and so I've been able to work through a lot of it and I think my body's trying to fix itself, though I do still have some difficulty in a few things. I'll know more here in about 4 or 5 days. Should get my MRI report back, so I'll let y'all guys know. Hopefully everything will be all right, you know. So nice to see you live, my friend. Have an amazing weekend. Catch you next chat. Cool, Laura. Yeah, guys, I need to probably be heading out too. Well, it's already been about 45 minutes. Matt, if you could go anywhere in the world to explore, where would you go? Whoa, that is a good question. Uh, for exploring, maybe South America. I like the Mayan and Aztec stuff. If I were gonna actually get to like explore to discover things, probably South America. Though anywhere on the other side of the pond, honestly, holds a lot of fascination for me. I'm really into like Neanderthals, early humans. There's so many rich places all over the world that it'd be really hard to just to pick one, you know. I would like to maybe even see Carthage too. In Africa, that would be neat. If I were just seeing places, uh dang, the list is pretty long, honestly. I want to drive the Autobahn. Love to see Egypt, Norway. Uh, yeah, just that anywhere pretty much. I just like everywhere. I was just going to ask how your MRI went. Okay, cool. Uh, praying for you. Thank you. Have a great weekend and be safe. You too, my friend. Patty says, with videos, I meant. I don't understand, Patty. Uh, bye, Angie. What's your favorite sweets? I'm kind of a cake guy or pie, honestly. Any plans to make more cooking videos? Yes, I definitely want to make some more cooking videos. I'm still trying to get everything kind of mellowed out here, and I'm really overextended. Honestly, I've been kind of just existing on camp meals here recently. I just really batching it, so I haven't put together anything that would actually be fun to do a cooking video about. How's the shelter going? It's going well. I've been getting some more pulls on it and everything. It's slow go. Love me a good cream pie, chocolate cream, banana cream, definitely. Hello from Dan and Fernanda, Clement Falls, and we're really proud of you and all your achievements. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, my friend. What goodies did you have for Thanksgiving? I just had a cup of or a mug of hot chocolate, really. I've been kind of cutting down on everything. I had a turkey sandwich and some hot chocolate, which was really good. I was trying to get by and see some of my friends and everything. It just didn't work out. Let's see. Thank you, Amber. You too, my friend. What is your favorite meal to cook? Favorite meal to cook? Well, my best meal is probably fried chicken. Honestly, I do a really good fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy. Love me some green beans with it. Meatloaf is nice. I make a good stew. Uh, Venison stew is good. I also do what I call deer bits and hot peppers. Oh, and spaghetti. I've got a I don't know. It's probably it's over 200-year-old family spaghetti recipe that I really enjoy. That stuff I eat all the time. What's your favorite meal? All right, we covered that. Uh, can't. Okay, okay. Sounds good. You're welcome to come visit Norway. Thank you. I appreciate that, Wednesdays. That's what is really neat about having friends all over the world is that it's so cool because no matter I could get on a jet and fly almost anywhere, and I've got a friend there. And I'd be like, hey, is your couch available for a couple nights? So yeah, friends, if all of a sudden I just drop out of the sky and it's hi. No, I give you a heads up first. All right, friends. I should probably go start getting to something. This has been so much fun. I really appreciate you being there. I will give you a heads up on Instagram before my next live video. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll do one or two more comments. Matt, I need to go. Hope you have a great night. I got to go too, my friend. You have a good night as well. Happy holidays. Hoorah. All right, looks like everybody's about ready to sign out. All right, guys, thank you so much for being there. Remember, never give up, never surrender. The answers to the problems are inside of us, even if those answers are simply the perseverance to find the answers to the questions. No stupid questions, only stupid answers. Never give up, never surrender. All right, bye.